Okay, I wanted to make a video talking about Bryce Young because I feel like the narrative is not untrue about Bryce Young, but I think just kind of understated. So, what is the narrative about Bryce Young? A lot of people have said once he got benched, looked like it was over for him. He came back in, and hey, he actually played pretty well. Was able to show some flashes. I think that's an understatement. I think he came back in and just really played well. I think he was like a top 10 quarterback the second half of the season. He was on that level. And I want to explain exactly why and how, now that they have, in theory, a better receiving core with adding Ted McMillan, how he could potentially show that he can be a really big force next year. So first, let's start off with just a simple play. One-on-one matchup on the outside. These types of plays are, always kind of the most difficult to pull off. It's man coverage. Let's see what Young can do. So you're going to see he takes the snap, and as of right here, is this open? I mean, it's worth a shot, right? Like I said, one-on-one matchup. There is a safety deep, but, you have enough time to get the ball there if you want to. Okay, let's see if Young can make this play work. Well, watch this. I mean, really just a perfectly thrown football. I mean, that was not bad defense whatsoever. It's a, heck of a catch, but also it's a great throw from Bryce Young. He would make some really difficult throws last season, and you would see him consistently making these types of throws. So that's kind of why I think Panthers fans are so excited heading into this next year. Even if, the defense still has a lot of work to do, they at least have this potential to have a really good offense. Something like this as well is very much worth talking about. So it was actually interesting. I felt like I kept talking about when I would make my film studies with Bryce Young when he wasn't playing well, right? When he was about to get benched and all that stuff. I would still always kind of try to bring up the positives I could. And the one positive I kept finding was he was always very good at this type of play. Young takes a snap, runs a play action, and oh no, what has gone wrong? A lot of things. There's a blitz because it's a goal line situation, not fully picked up. Stunt also allows a guy to get through completely untouched. This is a tough situation for Bryce Young, but he's always been very good under pressure in college, and even when he first entered the NFL, he's always been very good at this stuff. Watch him scramble through, and he's going to be able to get a touchdown here. Again, when he wasn't playing well, the 2 or 3 plays that he would give you like this, you wouldn't really care about because then he would, not play well for the rest of the game, and it was just an issue. But here, now that he is playing well, it kind of makes it less of an issue, and it makes it more of a positive, I should say, because you're actively seeing what he can do, and it's just added benefit to a quarterback who's already playing well, which is cool to see. And again, you would see him tie those things together, something that was a big thing that he was good at in college, something that he would be less good at in the NFL when he first started, but has found out kind of how to do it, where this is going to be a zone coverage concept. You see a couple of routes on the screen and how they could potentially work. However, when this play begins, it's just well covered by Atlanta right here. There isn't anything open, so what can you do if you're Bryce Young? An issue that he, quite frankly, has had to deal with too much in his career of seeing no one really be open and having to make something work. But watch what he's going to do. First, he's going to step up in the pocket. Okay, we've already seen him be able to do this, right? He is an effective runner. He's moving forward. Can pick up some yards, but this can work in 2 different ways. A, it can just get you some yards, but B, what sometimes happens is the defender then has a decision to make. Now there's multiple players they have to cover, the guy behind them and the quarterback. And right here, you see how both of the Atlanta defenders in the area have kind of stepped in a little bit. Bryce Young notices this, and a lot of quarterbacks, especially young quarterbacks, would just, at this point, feel like they're committed to running. Young notices this. He is able to, just before he crosses the line of scrimmage, throw the football, and they gain more yards and a first down on this. That's all Bryce Young, right? That's not anything else happening, and these are the things I always look towards when evaluating a quarterback. It's good when a quarterback can be a game manager, and it's important to do that stuff, but I also want to see a quarterback who can go above and beyond. Quite frankly, there aren't a ton of good game managers in the NFL, but there's a handful, right? There's 15, 20 guys who can run, a game on script. What separates the good from the great is the guys who can do the extra stuff, and Bryce Young can do the extra stuff. I also think he can do the simple stuff as well. Like, he's shown that he is, I think, has improved a lot at that. And, I think at the beginning of his career, that wasn't where he was at his worst, but it certainly was an issue, and part of why he did get benched early on into his second season. But you see right here, zone coverage, several routes that could potentially get open. But really, it is a lot of setup stuff for the more underneath route. That's kind of what you're looking towards right here. So when Young takes the snap, he's going to, look, and it's the halfback's route. As of right here, again, where does he want to go? Is this the throw that you should make? It's worth mentioning the game situation here. It's a third down, and you have to get to the 40-yard line. So this is a decision of, do you think that your running back can get to the 40-yard line or not? And I don't really hate the decision of just trusting your teammate, even if it doesn't work out. Watch, Young decides to give it to the halfback, and hey, Atlanta came up, they made a good tackle. Carolina wasn't quite able to get the first down. To me, I'll live with that, though. I do want a quarterback who's going to get the ball to the right player, even if it doesn't always work out. And so, didn't work out on that play, but I'm totally fine with Young doing that, because I think quarterbacks will get themselves in trouble when they hold on to the ball because that's not a great the odds are only like 20% of working, let me try and figure out something better. Well, sometimes you lose out on that 20% and then it goes down to 0% because nothing else is open. So I have no issue with those types of plays. I kind of like that type of play style, even if maybe some people will disagree. That's totally fine. Going over here, this is the play that everyone will like. Zone coverage concept, trying to get into a gap in coverage, further down the field, maybe get a touchdown on this play, at the very least gain some yards. Difficult play because Atlanta's only going to rush 3, so there's not big gaps here. Watch, Young's going to take the snap, and you're going to see that right here. I mean, yeah, it's just there is a small window to make this throw. And again, this is what I've been impressed with Bryce Young is I think Bryce Young, kind of funny to say it that way, but, rookie season Bryce Young and pre-benched Bryce Young just doesn't make this throw. He throws a check down or holds on to the ball and tries to run. And I think the biggest thing he learned when he got benched and then came back was, I have to take these chances. I almost wonder if there's a personal thing of him saying, like, I can't just not be an NFL quarterback because I was too afraid to even make these throws down the field. If I'm going to, come back and get another opportunity, I have to at least go down swinging this time. And you see he makes the throw. It's really well thrown. Was not caught, but that's a great throw from Bryce Young. And we've just seen him, I think, be much more willing to make a throw like this than we would see in previous years for Bryce Young. And I think that's ultimately why he's worked out so much and why he has had such a difference from post-benching to pre-benching, because he's a good quarterback. Like, he can make tough throws, he can move around well, like, he checks all the boxes. And it was kind of really surprising when he didn't work out right away for the Panthers, because he was considered kind of a pro-ready guy. But I do think that it's something that Tua also struggled with when he first entered is, Ryan Fitzpatrick talked about the difference between Alabama Open and NFL Open. Is in the NFL, you just don't get the windows that you get in college. In college, it's, hey, this guy's wide open, throw it to him. In the NFL, sometimes it's, this guy has no separation, but I can still maybe make this throw work if I just put it in this spot. This is a small window, but you know what? If I can thread the needle, this can still work. And Young's a talented enough quarterback. He can make these things work. So, yeah, I don't think the second half was a mirage for Bryce Young. I think this is who he is. I think he's going to stay around and be a quarterback for the Panthers for a long time. But, yeah, I mean, I could be wrong. It is a small sample size, so we'll see. But those are my thoughts. What are yours? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And, of course, as always, thanks for watching.